There's one step in the photo editing process that almost everybody skips before they jump into the color grading wheels. And it really doesn't matter what type of look you're going for. If you completely skip this, then your grades are going to look completely off instead of intentional. See, this is the thing. Most photographers will tell you to push your color grading wheels in the direction of your photo. Like if you're trying to go warm, you're going to push in that nice warm glow. And in environments like this, it's pretty easy to push in colors that really complement your scene. But where things start getting really tricky and complicated is when your scene doesn't have a lot of color, or you're trying to push that environment in a completely different direction. Instead of just shipping off a photo just to say that it's done and out of the way, you want to take that photo all the way to looking cinematic. So this is where the fun part of color grading actually comes to life. But this is also something that not a lot of people set up correctly in order to get a really nice seamless grade. So what I'm going to show you in this video is how to take a photo that looks like this with not a lot of color, and how to evolve that so that this photo looks way more cinematic and way more engaging. All right, so let's hop into Lightroom and get started. Okay, so I thought that this photo would be a great example because we don't really have a lot of color going on. We've got our skin tones, and that's pretty much it for this photo. Maybe like a little bit of underlying blue tone, but as for this, it's pretty muted. And yes, I did do the lighting here within the basics, within the tone curve, but beyond that, we don't really have much going on. And so this photo naturally looks kind of bland. Like it's not like we can really do a whole lot with this photo. And so that's kind of the place and position that I'm coming from, where it's like, okay, I want this photo to look more outstanding, more cinematic, but it's like, how do I take this photo from kind of this bland look to more cinematic? How do I add more colors so that I can actually get a really cool color palette instead of just keeping this bland like this? And so that's one of the main questions that a lot of people ask themselves when they're creating looks in an environment like this, or sometimes even in just like a natural outdoor environment where yes, there are lots of colors, but it's like, okay, I want to create something beyond just kind of like warming up that photo to create kind of like this nice warm scene. I want to do something that looks more impactful. And so this exact system that I'm about to show you is exactly where you're going to start for creating all of these looks. No matter if you're creating looks like this, where I'm going to show you how to actually add color through a color grade, or if you're creating around a photo where you are pushing in more of those intentional colors to create a really strong look, it is all the same process. And so this is where we're going to start, and this is going to be kind of where we finish. And so I'm going to take you from this raw to something that looks like this. And so this is going to be a really cool process. So let's get to work. So first and foremost, the one qualifying thing that a lot of people miss is they need to qualify what type of color palette that they're going to choose. And they're saying, okay, how am I going to figure out what type of color palette I can use and choose within my photo? And what type of colors am I going to push if I just have this one color? Because most of the time you're thinking, okay, I can choose a color palette based off of if I've got these blues and these oranges and all these different colors. You're thinking, okay, I can create and craft this scene because I can manipulate and group these colors. Like I like to say, I'm going to group, say, like my blues and my aquas, or I'm going to group my reds and my oranges so that they all create and fit into one specific color palette. So for us, you're saying, okay, well, all we have is our skin tones here. And you're like, okay, that's going to sit somewhere over here on the color palette. Well, how are we going to figure out what type of color is going to look good to push into this photo? How are we even going to start that process? And that's kind of where a lot of photographers stop the process of color grading altogether, is because they feel overwhelmed by this process of thinking, okay, I don't really know where to start. I don't actually know how to push in and where to push in. And so this is the process in which you're going to start, and I'm going to lay this out for you. So first, what you want to do is you want to choose one dominant color. And if you've seen any of my videos, this is a concept that I will hammer home every single time, because this is one of the most qualifying factors that will help you get started for every single photo. No matter the environment, no matter the type of edit, you want to choose one dominant color. And so for us, that is going to be our skin tones. And the reason why, beyond just obviously, yeah, those are our only color tones that we have in the photo, is because that is actually directing attention to the subject. So say if we had like blues or something off in the other part of the photo, then sure, we could choose those colors, but that doesn't direct attention to the subject. And so we want to choose one color that directs attention to the subject. And so for us, that's going to be our skin tones. Now from this point, to figure out what type of color to push in our photo, we are going to be looking at the color spectrum here. And so for us, we want to push in a really nice complementing tone. And so we need to look at where our skin tones are sitting, which are somewhere over here, kind of like within like this yellowy orange tone here. We've got some yellows going on in here. And so what's opposite on the color spectrum? Somewhere within kind of like this blue teal tone. And so what we want to do is we want to push in that tone within the rest of our scene to complement that dominant color. In this process is the exact same for if you had those other colors in your scene like I was saying before, but when you're pushing in a color grade, you're also going to be working off this specific color grade. And that's why it's so important to choose one dominant color, because that sets up literally the rest of your scene. And this exact system is exactly what I teach within my cinematic clarity system. And this is part of the cinematic blueprint, which I just launched. And so if you are looking to create more cinematic looks and get the full entire system, this is one piece of the puzzle. But if you're looking for the whole system, then there's more information in the description below. And so back to the photo here, when we look at a shot like this, we're trying to think, okay, where do we need to push in that color tone that's going to complement? And so for us, we've got a lot of shadows going on. And so naturally, it's going to work out better where we start pushing in that color tone in the shadows, because if we were to push in that color within the highlights, and sometimes you need to do this in order to qualify what your process looks like, and you need to figure this out for yourself as you go through it. But let's say, for example, we start pushing blue into the highlights in order to achieve this blue and teal look, right? So I'm going to start pushing this in here. Look how poorly that ruins the photo. It messes with the skin tones because our highlights are now looking blue on our subject. It messes up the punching bag here. Everything just looks off and it looks messy. And so naturally, you're going to say, okay, that can't be the right process. And so what you're going to do is you're going to come down to the midtones and you're going to start pushing in these blue tones here. And so you're going to start here. It's like, okay, these are helping a little bit, like it's kind of on the wall, but it is still fading a lot into those highlights. So you're like, okay, let's go back and let's try qualifying with the shadows. Okay, so this isn't touching so much of the skin tones here, but it is giving us this really nice contrast between these nice orange skin tones and the rest of the photo. And so from this point, we know that our shadow wheel is going to be consuming most of that color. And that's not always going to be the case and not always going to be the circumstance, or like if you're trying to push in like an analogous color scheme. But let's start by actually first dialing in our skin tones and getting our dominant color correct. Now that we know where we're going to start pushing our colors, I want to make sure that this color actually looks the way that I want it to look. And so for me, it's looking a little bit more on the yellow side. And so I'm going to go in and I'm going to push this color tone a little bit more towards that red. And that looks pretty good. I'm going to grab the yellows, push that a little bit more towards that orange. So I feel like this is a good starting base for me. And now when I go back into my color spectrum, I'm looking, okay, where did I shift that color tone? So maybe now it's sitting a little bit more down towards this red. And so that's going to change where I'm going to push in that complementing color tone. And so for me in these shadows, I'm going to start pushing in somewhere over in like these teal tones, because that complements with these skin tones. So I'm going to start pushing in here. Okay, now you can see that we are removing a lot of skin tone right in here. We're going to come back. We're going to work on that, bring that back. There's no sweat here. But what I'm noticing is when I push this in at 100%, which is naturally what you want to do, because when you push in at 100%, it should still click regardless. So for me, I'm noticing that this is looking more towards like that purpley blue tone. And so I'm going to start shifting that up towards the teal just a little bit. And what that's going to do is naturally start working better and click with these skin tones. And so usually what I like to do is I will start moving up too high and too far. And I'm like, okay, that's looking way too green for the scene. And I'm going to move the opposite way. Okay, that's looking a little bit more on the purple side. So I'm just going to start balancing between the two. And so I call that swinging between the two extremes. And so I'm going to start pushing up and kind of just find that middle ground, and you'll see where it finally starts to click with these skin tones. Now, I'm not going to leave the saturation at 100%, but if we did, it should still be able to work with the scene itself, because this color tone is actually working and complementing with what we've got going on in the skin tones. So I'm going to remove saturation here. To this point right here, I feel like this looks really nice, really pleasing to the scene. And then now I'm going to go back and I'm going to start qualifying, okay, where our highlights are going. I feel like these highlights are staying a little bit white, and I really want to like emphasize and make the scene pop. And I want to add a little bit more life into the highlights on my subject's face too. So I'm going to push opposite of that, and that's actually going to help to complement the two color tones that we're actually pushing in our scene. So we've got these skin tones, and then we've got these blues. And so this is where we start pushing in those color tones to help complement that two color structure. I'm going to start pushing in that color tone. And most times, what's going to happen when you start pushing in the same color tone as that dominant color is it tends to look a little bit more like on the red side or the green side. It doesn't always look natural right off the bat. And so what you're going to do is you're going to swing between the two extremes again, just like we did. So this is looking red. I'm going to push opposite to get that color tone. That's looking green. Bring that back. Red. Bring it up a little bit. And right in there. Okay. And so you kind of find that middle balancing point. Now I'm going to turn the eye off and on. Okay, so you can see that this is a really nice orange yellow looking tone. I feel like this fits really well with the scene. So now I'm just going to remove a little bit of the saturation. Perfect. Okay, so we're sitting at about 55% here. Now I'm going to go to the midtones because I usually like to go highlights, midtone, shadows, but for this, we're going to increase the shadows just to get that color tone going, and then we're going to go work backwards. So I'm going to push in that same color tone here. Just going to push that in. Okay, now what can happen very quickly is when we are pushing in that same color tone, the midtones can tend to rule the scene because they are kind of like the bigger chunk of the photo, unless your photo is living more within the shadows. But for the most part, the midtones can tend to wreck a photo pretty quickly. So we're gonna decrease the saturation here. I just wanna make sure that this color tone is actually fitting well with the scene. I'm gonna shift that up a little bit more towards that yellow. Perfect, so I'm going to turn the eye off and on. And I actually do like what it's doing. Like it's adding in some nice color here on the wall, adding in and pumping up a little bit more into the color tone on his face. Okay, now let's turn off the grade as a whole. And let's turn it on. Now for me, I feel like this is looking a little bit more on the teal side. So I'm going to go back and I don't want it to look so teal. So I'm just going to shift down a little bit more. Perfect. Now I feel like that color tone does sit better with the scene as a whole. And so I'm going to turn the eye off and on for the shadows. Maybe down a little bit more here. Remove a little bit of that saturation. Perfect. Okay, so now I feel like as a whole for this photo, this is looking super good, super clean as a photo. And this grade holds up perfectly because we've got our skin tones, which are sitting somewhere over here on the color spectrum. And then we've got our blues in the shadows sitting over here. So we've got this two color structure, which is our complementary color grade. And this works every single time. If you choose one dominant color and base the other color that you're pushing into the scene through the color grading wheels, then that is going to help qualify and push in that complementing tone, which is going to then give you a more cinematic scene that is going to look way more engaging than what we had at the start. Like if we go to our raw, then we go after. This is such a cool scene for what we have right now. And if we wanted to, actually, let's go in and pump a little bit of grain here just to finish this off. Nice. Now we've got like this really nice, cool, gritty scene. That's how we do it. So if you're looking to create more cinematic and commercial style edits so that clients take you more seriously, like I said, there's more information in the description below to check out the cinematic blueprint to get my entire color grading system. And if you're looking for more videos like this, I think you'll really like this video here. So I'll see you over there. All right, peace.